right, y'all, we are gonna make some southern cornbread, and I have an ingredient that makes it really, really good. So I'm gonna show y'all my secret ingredient. So first, I use white lily cornmeal, white lily, and I don't really measure. I just put some. This scoop that I'm using is half a cup, but I just stick some in there. And oh my gosh, I forgot to tell y'all, golly. So what I do is I heat my oven to 400 degrees, and while my oven is heating, I go ahead and I bake it in my little cast iron skillet. I'm using some avocado oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in the bottom of my skillet. Some people put butter or lard or whatever, Crisco, whatever works for you. So just make sure the bottom of your skillet is covered in the oil or whatever it is that you use. And while my oven is preheating, I put my skillet in there. That way, when I get ready to pour my corn mix in there, it is good and hot and sizzling. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven to let it be preheating. Okay. All right, so back to this. I've just used 2 scoops of the half, so I would say about a cup of cornmeal. My skillet that I'm using is little, so y'all may have to use one that's bigger, but you know, whatever works for you. And then I always use 1 egg, and I'm using my fresh eggs today that a friend of mine has chickens and gave to me. So I put 1 egg in it. And buttermilk. And I don't measure my buttermilk. I just go by, I guess, consistency. You'll know. You know the feel of cornbread. And then if it's too dry, add more buttermilk. If it's too wet, add more cornmeal. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna use a whisk. I'm gonna use a big spoon. I feel like it works better when you use a big spoon. And I'm just gonna stir it up in there. And I can already tell I'm gonna need just a smidge more buttermilk because it's still a little bit too dry. So I just put a little bit more buttermilk and just eyeball it. Don't worry about being perfect and measuring and all that good stuff because that just takes too much time. And so I'm just gonna stir all this together. It still is not as thin as I like, so I'm gonna add a little bit more buttermilk. Okay. Stir all that up. And you see, I mean, it all depends on what you want. Even for me, I hate to say I'm gonna add more buttermilk, but I am because I don't know. Y'all, I'll show y'all what I think the texture of cornmeal should be. So I'm somebody who likes cornbread, but I always said that I couldn't make it I'm making a mess. That mine wouldn't ever turn out right. And so a lady I work with gave me a key ingredient that I'm gonna show y'all, and it's so good now. Even the kids like it. So this is like the consistency that you would want. See, it's not too thick, but it's thin enough to. Now here's the key ingredient. I'm gonna get another spoon. About a tablespoon of Duke's mayo. I know it sounds so weird to put mayonnaise in cornmeal, but y'all, I'm not kidding. It really does. It makes a difference. So I put about a tablespoon of Duke's, and I'm just gonna stir it up in my cornmeal. I don't add no sugar or anything like that. Sorry, somebody was calling me. Just stir it up. And then you have your cornmeal. See, look at that, look at it run. See, that's how it should be. All right, so I'm gonna let my oven heat up a little bit more and get my pot out, and then I'll show y'all what I do next. All right, y'all, so my pan is heated up, so I'm gonna show it to y'all. So here is my pan. My avocado oil is good and hot in there. So I am gonna get me something to sit it on. Hold on a second. All right, sorry, okay. So what I do next, my pan is good and hot. So what I'm gonna do next is, I'm just gonna pour, sorry y'all can't see the pan, I'll show you after I pour it. I'm just pouring my cornmeal down in this cast iron skillet that I showed y'all earlier. Just gonna get all that out. And when I cook it, it isn't like a certain amount of time. I just eyeball it. So, when it gets golden brown on top, then I take it out. So usually 15 to 18 minutes, something like that. Every oven's different, so just whatever your oven is. So this is what it looks like. I got it. You can kind of see the oil coming up around it. I'm gonna put it back in the oven. It's on 400 degrees. I'm gonna just eyeball it, but it usually will take 15 to 18 minutes, something like that. All right, y'all, so my cornbread is done. And this is what it's supposed to look like. See how it's golden on top? And so all I do now is take a little bit of butter and I just rub it on the top of my cornbread like this. And I made homemade beef stew today, so that's what we're eating ours with, but y'all eat it however you like it. And I promise adding that Duke's mayonnaise in it will make it so good. So y'all enjoy it, and I hope y'all try it. Tell me what you think. Bye, y'all.